read 7 books this month, which is just incredible for me. I usually do not read that much. On my Goodreads, it says that I've read 8 books. I finished the Raven Boys audiobook at the very beginning of this month, so I don't really count that as reading it this month because I did the majority of that in December. But I did finish the Raven Boys, the first book in that trilogy. I enjoyed it. I really liked listening to it on the audiobook. Being able to really kind of hear the character's point of view was interesting. It was kind of a very different kind of plot that I usually don't listen to or read about, so it was really interesting. I really liked it. I think I'll continue on with that trilogy. It wasn't absolutely captivating like I wanted it to be, but that could have just been because I mainly listened to it on my commute from work, so it could have just been not as engaging as physically reading the book, but I did very much enjoy that. And then I picked up Messenger by Lois Lowry. This is the 3rd book in the Giver Quartet. So this book, I absolutely loved it. I've been reading the middle of the book. I'm still currently through in Physical Thief. And about halfway reading the copy, honestly, God just looked at all the slump that I own. And on shortest on Goodreads have, so that the books there's only 100 book that I 69 pages. I was able to get through that really quickly. And so I thoroughly enjoy this court really. So far I've only got one book left, and so I'm looking forward to continuing one. But Messenger was just a really great tie-in of the first 2 books, The Giver and Gathering Blue. Those are more companion novels, and you don't really hear about the characters from The Giver in Gathering Blue, but The Messenger ties everything together very nicely, and then the fact that it's only 169 pages and gets a whole story out is really fantastic. The 4th book, I'm really interested to see how it turns out. So that was the next book that I picked up. And then I went to my local library and I picked up Anya's Ghost, which is a graphic novel. So this was one of my first graphic novels to really pick up. I heard great things about it on YouTube, and I read it and I really, really liked it. It was very engaging. I read it in maybe 2 sittings, maybe even 1 sitting. I can't really remember. So really enjoyed that. Just about this Russian girl who has to deal with, being a minority at her school and kind of working through that, and then there's a paranormal twist to it. Very, very interesting, so definitely go and pick that up. The next book that I picked up, that I finished, I was in the middle of a few books, but I read Peanut, which is another graphic novel. I borrowed it from my library, so I don't have the physical copy. This was okay. It's about a girl in high school who changes schools and decides to develop a peanut allergy overnight. It fit in, and I was weird, I don't know, as the high school, just everyone had later problems, and I guess a very much one in that, married, well, I kind of hard first really connect, but being, so, it was this as much for me to read it, maybe 3. The art didn't really great, I think I gave her a star, so it was reline was interesting, but overall, I don't know if I'd really recommend stories to a friend or so I don't read that. And then I picked up the Book of Ivy. Book of Ivy by Amy Engel. Oh my goodness, this was so captivating. I could not stop reading this. I loved it. I just wanted to know more. The pacing in this is just perfect. One chapter you deal with maybe a little bit of romance. The next chapter it's more action. It's very much Divergent and Hunger Games-esque. It is a dystopian novel, so it's got a lot of similar elements, but it's a completely different storyline. So for those of you that don't know, it's about this girl who lives in this town that her family founded, but it has gained rule over another family. So the founder's family and the president's family kind of have a dispute. And so in this town, when the women are 16, they are placed in arranged marriages based on personality tests and interviews to people from the different sides of town. So the founders live on the more low-class side of town, and then the president's family live on the upper end. And so they marry each other to kind of try to keep the peace, if you will. But her family, she is actually the founder's granddaughter. She has to marry the president, maintain. So to keep that's just me. I do to make worse the peace and try to be everyone happy and have to sew together and has a plan together to kill incidents. Her family. So it's just a lot. Very, very depressing to see how it lays out. She's very to convince that all this man that she's trying loves him and wants to be married to him, but it has ulterior motives. So I'm really looking forward to the next book. It's coming out in November. It's called The Revolution of Ivy. I want to say, I could be wrong, but something of Ivy. The next book is coming out in November. Okay. Then I picked up Saga Volume 1. So this is another graphic novel. This is a very mature content graphic novel. I've heard a lot of booktubers say that, but absolutely very mature content. There's prostitution in it. And it has pictures of what those prostitutes are doing with their clients. And, just very graphic, violent scenes. So definitely if you are not ready for that kind of content, maybe don't pick this up. I liked this graphic novel. A lot of people just love it. I haven't picked up the second volume yet. It was very, very different from anything that I normally read. It was very much sci-fi, more of what I would think of a graphic novel would be. So I did enjoy it a lot. It was interesting to see the character just develop. I'm interested to see how the story continues, so I probably will continue with that. And then I finished The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey on audiobook. I did this through audiobook. This was so interesting. Once again, not something that I usually read. I'm not a post-apocalyptic story. Really, I think readers, that's not usually my post, like the dystopics. I guess that I've never done it as well, but before. I way that the aliens are done in the book is in the so interesting and slightly horrifying. So to think that it's I don't know if it's valuable. I don't know if aliens exist. I just don't know. So wherever you are on that, good for you. I have no idea. So it was very good. The audiobook I thought was really great. Hearing the different point of views made everything very clear. I haven't heard that that's really an issue with the physical copy, but the audiobook was just really engaging. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then last night I finished Blankets by Craig Thompson. And this is a graphic novel. And I have it. I thought I had it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so then I finished Blankets by Craig Thompson. So this is the most massive graphic novel I've ever seen. My husband, he said, well, this is the only one that's actually lived up to its name, because most graphic novels are like small. This actually is a novel, so pretty thick copy. But the art in this is very beautiful. The author is Craig Thompson, and the character in this name is Greg, so I'm guessing it's his life story. I didn't really read too much into that. But got through this really quickly. I liked it. It took me a few days to read it. But I liked it a lot. So I wasn't expecting very the story plots that happen. There's some very real much things that some I won't say in the but religious content fight, but there's a real background, and if he believes in God, trying to what he wants to do with life and Christianity and his life as a girl through pretty much coming of age story, talking about his childhood, what he went through as a child. Once again, some very real things that happened to Craig in this novel, but I did enjoy this. I'm glad that I picked it up, and so yeah, I would recommend this. Those are the books that I have completed. So that was 7 books total: Messenger, August Ghost, Peanut, Book of Ivy, Saga, The Fifth Wave, and Blankets. And so I should have thought of this before. I read 4 graphic novels, I completed 1 audiobook, and I read 2 physical copies of books. So pretty good. And then I finished that other audiobook at the very beginning of the month. Like literally, I think I maybe finished it on January 1st or 2nd. So I don't really count that. But I'm in the middle of reading. I'm in the middle still of reading The Book Thief. I've been reading this for months and months and months. I've enjoyed this. I don't know if historical fiction's really for me. I think I'm more of a nonfiction history book reader. I'd rather listen to the actual stories that happened than made up ones. That sounds terrible, but I just don't know how I feel about it. But the second half of this book has really been more interesting. People that love this, and I really just wanted to like fall in love with. So I think maybe I drew too high of expectations. And I got midway through, I just had to pick things, novel. So that's why I short-birded my whole. But graphic novels and reading books. I am about listening to it on third book now because I can get it done. And I listen to audiobooks. No, I'm that. And then I'm currently reading The Archive by Victoria Schwab. And I dropped this book, and so it landed on its cover, and so now it's all messed up, and I'm really sad about it. But oh well, it's what on the inside that counts. But I'm about a little more than halfway through this. I'm really liking this. This is very, very intriguing, very mysterious. I've kind of been wanting to get into a more mysterious kind of book. So I'm hoping to finish this pretty soon. I've only got, I don't know, like 120 pages left maybe. So I should be able to finish this maybe by mid next week, hopefully. And so those are the books that I'm currently reading. And I'm really enjoying The Archive so much. Getting more into The Book Thief. I know it's almost done, but I'm really getting into that. Really enjoying that. My plans for February is I'm going to be reading Cinder by Marissa Meyer with one of my friends from high school, a girl that I grew up with. She's kind of doing the reading challenge on Goodreads as well, and I was looking at her to be read list, and we have very similar books, so I said, why don't we read them together? So we're going to be reading Cinder, and for those of you, so Cinder by Marissa Meyer. This is the first book in the Lunar Chronicles series. I have all 3 books. I have not picked up Fairest yet, which is the prequel to the Lunar Chronicles series, told by the person of the evil thing. I'm not sure what her name is. Anyway, that interesting. So it would that made interesting at some point. We'll move on to get that baby as I went clean. I'm kind of over Christmas, but so easy that on that I've owned completed with 2 of the books that I own. So on the 0 by 16, and 2 of them are not out. The other 5 books that I finished were not necessarily books that I own, but books that I definitely wanted to read and get into. So looking forward to getting these books off my to-be-read shelves and get those read. So really happy with what I did this month. Not sure if I can continue this pace moving forward. I am just in the 3rd week of my 4th semester in graduate school, so I've got lots of work going on there, and I work full-time, so who knows how my reading's going to go for this next month, and plus February is really short anyway. We only lose 2 days, but it feels like we lose a whole week, so I'm just really happy with this. I'm excited to get into the Lunar Chronicles series to finish The Archive, and I'll keep you guys posted. So I hope that you're doing great. I hope your reading year's starting out as good as mine, if not better, and I hope you're happy with your progress. If you only read 1 book and you're happy with that, then that's fantastic. Keep up the pace, and I'll see you